Okay, so as we are approaching the beginning of the week here, I believe this is our 4th week. So we're just on the cusp of about halfway done with our course. So we're going to be moving on to module number 4 a little bit later today. But today you do have your assignment number 3 due, which is going to be the velocity, the module 3 stuff, the velocity stuff that we were working on last week. Now, the reason we have this one Monday due date is because last week, Friday, we weren't able to meet, and I didn't want to have something due if you guys were working and that kind of thing. So I want to give you that one last chance to ask any questions that you might have before we move on to the next module. So we'll be looking at that in a little bit, but then the rest of the week is going to be our normal stuff. So we'll be starting on module number 4 today, continuing on the next time that we meet. And then you're going to notice that at the end of the week, I do have assignment number 4 due, which corresponds to module number 4, to kind of get back on our normal rhythm. Okay. So, and then as we look ahead, oh my goodness. Oh, whoa. Let me get this off of here. I noticed that there is a Friday event here. We will not be meeting on Friday, which is the 24th. The 23rd is going to be Thanksgiving, as you know, and the 24th is then the Friday after Thanksgiving. WCTC is closed both days, so we will not be holding class on Friday at all. So you have off for Thanksgiving, but we will be meeting Monday and Wednesday next week, kind of like our normal thing, and then moving on to the next module as well. So just kind of peeking ahead as we're kind of moving along here mid class, which is kind of crazy. It goes really fast when we're having fun, right? So are there any questions schedule wise? Okay, so then what I wanted to do is I want to go to our class Back to Basic Mechanisms and take a look at module number 3. Okay, module number 3. So are there any questions on the assignment for module number 3? If we look at this one, this was the chapter 6 stuff. This is the velocity, regular velocity at the beginning. I think like the first half of our problems that are assigned here was like general velocity. We had kind of gone over those requirements the last time we were together. These at the front end of our assignment do not require any CAD work. Okay, but as we move, to number 19 and the ones that are the rest of the time here, these do require us to draw the vector diagrams and the kinematic diagrams in AutoCAD so that we can get our correct distances and stuff. Are there any questions on this homework assignment? No? Just a reminder, we do have the final answers here in this PDF so that you can check your work as you go along. Okay, so make sure that you do that. That way, if you're on the right track, if you can move on, if you did it okay. The last time that we were together, I also want to remind you that if we go back to our module, the session recordings that we have here, I do have these labeled. So I tried to be, quite specific. So you'll notice here that we have the module 3 assignment overview and then the module number 3 demos. This was where I kind of gave you time in between to do them along with me. And so hopefully those will be helpful as you go through. So I tried to do demos on things that you could then reapply to other problems that were assigned as well. So any questions at all? Probably first place, if you do need to look back and remind yourselves, this would be the best place to start, is looking at the videos. Otherwise, I can always answer questions. Nothing? Okay. Oh. Yes. Those are going to be, so the question is on the ones that are the points of interest or the points on a floating link. Let me go back to the end of chapter 6. So that's going to be, I'm going to go back, go underneath here, make this big, and that's going to be these two. So 31 and 32 are the problems that go along with that. What question do you have?
I just don't know how to go about figuring out what to do next.
So you want to know what the linear velocity is of point X, right? So that would be like the very last step that you take. So just you'll notice that point X is on link number 2. So for instance, on number 31 here, you have to find the W2 and and this was the one that I believe we did step by step in our lecture when we were together. So then going backwards, your W2 you will know. So you'll have W2 is going to be known. Okay. And you will need to construct then in AutoCAD the radius that goes straight back. So don't use the 175 and then 2 and then the 30 plus the 60 back to this point of rotation. You need to draw a straight line to that point and then measure its distance for its radius. So you're going to have a radius X from CAD. Okay. And then once you have that, then what you do is you use that to find your velocity of X. So I'm going to draw it over here. Velocity of X is equal to W2 times RX then. Okay. And then just make sure that your W2 is in your radians per second so that you can get it there. I remember doing that in our demonstration. So it would be towards the end of the assignment 3 demos that we would have done the last time we were together, just so that you know if you wanted to reference that. But this should kind of help along. Does that make sense? And the key for X really is making sure that you construct that line that goes straight back to the center of rotation, and then measure that directly from CAD. Okay.
Yeah, I got that the radius part, and I just didn't know if I could simply just do a radius.
Yeah. Yep, that's okay. That's all right. So that would be that dimension right there to plug in, and then just making sure W2 you would have, and I think I actually remember mentioning this, when you solve for W2 here, your first units are going to be radians per second. So you don't have to kind of go through that business of going from RPMs to radians per second, because in the previous step, you'll have it in radians per second to just plug right in here. Okay. All right. Any other questions on assignment number 3? Okay. All right. If not, then we will move to module number 4. Okay. So then I'm going to stop the recording at this time. So I'm going to scooch this over, and I'll be back with module number 4.